mighty citadel's descenders. No sword nor spell could wound it. Who dares to chase the symbol of destruction in writings? The dragon wreathed in black fire.
Okay, we live! Hello everybody, and welcome to our first Masochist Mode episode.
Start to pain.
Let's start it. We got Flashing Hour, Romantic Mouse, whatever we want to go by here, with me today. Well, I just get it going. Masochist Mode. Oh god, that was creepy. Oh, check for pulse. Am I okay? I guess my totally planned falling out the sky trick looked like it hurt. Okay. I'm Flan, you're new and way cooler than the other guide. Take these before you head off, I'm sure it'll be useful to you. Well, you should probably get the items from this person. That actually is very helpful. If you didn't know.
Which one?
The one right in front of you.
The advisor?
The Flan person. You get items from them. Br okay, I'm just gonna give you the 2 main items that you'll need. Or the 3 main items. You got silver. This is not cheating, guys. I'm just giving him what he should already have. That hammer. Also, your socks and a puff in a bottle. There we go. Now I resume time. And set mob spawns on. Let the pain begin! Let the pain begin. Oh boy. Oh boy, chat. Oh, I should probably change. I don't really need the copper pickaxe and axe. Since, you know, I have a silver one. Also, if you get any Fallen Stars, I will need them because, you know, I'm a mage. I mean, you also need them kind of since you're a summoner, but not as much, I guess.
Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't know how long I can play because I am being summoned. Yeah. Because just out of all the days, I had to be busy. And I didn't even know until.
Oh yeah, I forget you get a debuff for freaking killing critters. Just for killing critters, you get a debuff. Yeah, for like a few seconds. Oh, I got the freaking what's his name? How? Okay, all slimes are pretty hard to beat. Actually, oh, I almost thought I got him stun locked. You aren't mad at me, right?
I'll be back.
Okay. Rope. Rope. Collecting all that rope and the fallen star. Oh yeah, this is the barrier to the other land. We go into the depths, boys. You don't see me, slimes. You guys don't see me. I'm not there. Oh god, there's a worm. What was that? What was that thing? Okay, well, this is great. Takes a while for that stuff to friggin' chop. I'm getting all the rope. Ow. You can jump over me, right? Yep. Haha. Ow. All the rope and fallen stars. Yes. All of them. Get juked, mister. Ow. I'm gonna die soon. but get all the fallen stars, yes. All the things, get all of them. Get all the fallen stars, yes. I'm dying for some reason. Coins, coins, yes, coins. Golden coin portal. I'm going to die, but I'm going to be right here. Oh my god. 5 HP. Okay, nice. Well, if we get houses, I can get the merchant to move in. Actually, I have... Hello? Oh, wait. Pfft. For some reason, I thought you were Gabby. Hello. We streaming right now. Is doing Master Mode stream.
Alright, I just saw y'all in here and just thought I'd pop in and say hi.
Yeah, that's no big deal. No way. I cannot speak. Technically, this is the Valerie VA right here. Valerie VA. So.
Hello.
Something came up, and I'll be back in like 45 minutes.
Okay, well, I guess I'm carrying for. I guess I'm carrying.
I'll be back in.
Okay, I guess I'm carrying for 45 minutes, guys. Don't worry. Let's go, chat. Nick Master Carry stream. This doesn't fall on me in this mode, right? Don't think so. I really hope it doesn't, because that would be very annoying. Why is there a seagull? Why is there a fucking seagull? Oh, that's a good batch of iron. Now I'm gonna grab it. The eyes can't go through blocks, can they? I really hope so. I really hope not. Really hope not. Please don't go through. Okay, good. You don't go through walls. I almost not jinxed myself. Almost said the wrong thing. There's a slime here. I don't know. Okay, it can fit. It's glitching through the blocks, and I don't know why, but it is. It just do its thing. Oh, bro died. There will be an update on that later, I think. But for now, it is masochism time. And note to self, collect every single bit of ore, even if it's copper, because I make enchantments and stuff like that. Raincoat zombie, no thank you. Ice will avoid you, thou. What the heck is that? Oh, it's an airline charger. It's just named green for some reason. I don't know why, but... That Goblin Scout? Why is there Goblin Scout not the ocean? This game confuses me. Did that umbrella slime have like an umbrella effect? Are you kidding me? Well, I'm not going this way. Nope. I think we just digging up. Oh, and I ate the pomegranate. Did not mean to do that, but I guess we're just doing that now. Pomegranate time. Okay, how am I gonna get around the giant lava lake? How am I gonna do this? Thonk, Nick. Time to thonk. Just dig. That's how you get around stuff. Just dig. Just dig. You'll be okay. Do 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 do. Just dig. Sorry, that was very cringe. Okay, our torch was off. I don't know why I did that. So I don't think I can mine crimtane with silver, yeah. Rip. Could grab that. Iron's not that much though. Is that gems? Four diamonds. Nice. That's not enough for a staff, I don't think. But still, it's diamonds. Chat, I won Minecraft. People, these Minecraft zombies cannot hurt me now. Can't do shit. Okay, we're good. I'm just gonna wait for that slime to die or burn something. Or no, it's not gonna happen. Oh fuck, no. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're chill. We're chilling. I'm gonna place some blocks if you don't mind. Stove. No. Place some blocks over the lava. I don't really want to deal with some lava right now. Don't think you would either if you were in my situation. I also should put ash wood in there instead of the mushroom. Give me a big warm. So I am very fast and it's kind of freaking me out. I don't know why I'm fast. I'm gonna dig just to the right before I freaking I can't think. Me cannot think says. Why is there freaking Goblin Scouts? It makes no sense. I want that iron, but I don't think I'm getting it because, you know, mobs exist. I'm gonna have to get out of here before that slime gets here. Okay, it's not gonna get here actually. Never mind. Well, it seems that we are past mushroom biome level. So we just dig and dig and dig and dig and dig. No, that's not what to do. Silt? No, it's just a stone. Regular stone. I don't know if reverse elevators are a thing, but that would be very cool. Something is drowning. Don't know what it was. Oh yeah, I forgot I have a double jump at this point in progression. Oh fuck. Okay, no. Oh. I see that. Bat, please don't disturb me. Please don't have a bat disturb me now. I do not need a bat on me. Fuck. Ow. That's not what I meant to do. Ooh. Also some cobwebs, which will be good for, not that. That's not good. Okay. It will be good for getting a robe when I eventually need it. What do we got? An extractinator and a band of regen and some tungsten bars. Got our first loot of the playthrough! Yay! And I already got poison dart trapped. Nice. Thank you for not making me use this texture pack. Just gonna destroy that and torch it up. Get the iron. Sled? It is sled. Dang it. Dang it. Keep missing. Oh, there's a golden chest up there. Nice. Nice to figure out that is up there, because I now know what I'm going for. Ah, it is a dead man's chest. You want to know how I know? Because there's 3 explosives near it. Not anymore. I got armored boots. Bless me. I'm just gonna avoid this, obvious death trap that is over here. Given that I don't need what's in that chest now, because, I got it already. There's a chest up there that I will go and get, though. To figure out how to... Oh, fuck. Okay, Haha. Get block slimies. I'm not dying today. Another Hermes boot. Chest. Oh. I guess I'll give that to, yeah, you want to get back. You're not gonna get me. I'm chill. We're chill, right? Yeah, we got no quarrel with each other. Oh, fuck. Wave crystal. Wave crystal. Wave crystal. And go get out of here. It's a rock golem. Fuck. No. No. Run. I somehow got away from that. Wow. Okay. Wow. That's actually kind of cool. We chillin'. We chillin'. Chillin' now. I want to get this over actually. Ah, my God. Oh, hi, jellyfish. Well, note to self, do not go over there. 'Cause that jellyfish would drain my health away. Don't you love jellyfish in this mod? Don't you just love them? I heard that boulder trap. Oh, hi, Angler. Fuck. Let me wake up the Angler, please. How do I wake up the Angler? There we go. So there was a squid in there. Well, the Angler is dead, but I don't really care if the Angler is dead. Now that I got him rescued and stuff. Oh, what the heck? I didn't know I could do that. That's cool. Okay, well, this is a great situation to be in. Dodge and get on the minecart track. We're going someplace new. Where will this minecart track lead me? We're going to the desert. That's just 2 life crystals. We got 2. The heck is this? Forest Druid's Dryad bag? What? No. Don't very much like this. We're not gonna use any of this mace stuff. Okay, how am I gonna get out of it? Like that! That is how we're getting out of it. Oh my god. Life crystals galore. Okay, well that's just great. Just get rid of you. I'll go back and get all this ore and stuff. And this is what I meant by carrying for the first 45 minutes. Legit carrying, let's go. Ooh, some free lead. Kind of like a wood geode. That zombie can't make it. Oh god, can you make it? Barely can't make it. Oh my god, that zombie had hops. That zombie got hops. Another mushroom biome up there that I might want to go to. Thinking about it. Take these cobwebs. Don't mind. Before I get this here dead. I think we're going to the right. I just think we might be going to the right. Worm, please don't get me right now. Cloud in a bottle. Stop it, worm. I'd appreciate it if you stop it, worm and slime. Oh my god. I think we're recalling. Yeah. Whew. Wow. That was an intense first adventure down into the chasms. Probably should have saved some life crystals for him, but I didn't. The heck, forest druid's outfit kind of thing. Make a little. I'll make a nightwood workbench. Why not? Yes. Station. Oh god. Furnace. Iron anvil. Yeah, it has a lot of iron bars. If I remember correctly, the red wet enchantment is actually pretty good. So I might want to make the lead armor first. I have to remember what consists the wood enchantment. Like what does the wood enchantment consist of? I almost said it backwards. Yay. And I can't jump. Okay. Okay, to make the wood enchantment. Oh, I need a demon altar. That's great. I need a wedge short sword, peach, and gray paint. Why do I need gray paint? Need to make. Wait, there's a shimmer, and that's a lead short sword. Okay, we got that. I still need to get my first magic weapon. Make 5 hand crystals, though. That's nice. What does the copper enchantment consist of? Like, bump, 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 bump. Okay. I need. I think it's time we just go mining again some more. Or I should probably make housing. Housing would probably be a really good thing to have. I can make 5 insta houses out of all of that, really? In master mode, yeah, I'm on master mode, okay. Thought I would take more damage, that's all I'm just gonna say. More housing is available now. Yay. Can you like get out of here, slime? That would be greatly appreciated. Chopping some trees. Why no people in chat? Why no people watching chats? I'm sad. Okay. I've got more wood created. Okay, so go for don't care. Okay, it's not craftable into anything. I could. No, there's not any use in that. No, I'm thinking about it. Okay. Okay. So I want to keep an explosive of some sort in my inventory. Take one of those just in case. Oh, bomb. Take the bombs. That will cause Mr. Explosive Man to spawn eventually. I might need you for something. Okay, we're going back. Oh, what the heck? So I'll need to get the painter. I'll have to find. I don't remember how you get the painter actually. Actually, I can still look at the painter requirements, I think. Painter. Where's painter? Where's Mr. Painter? Painter, 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 painter. Where's painter? I cannot see painter. Where's paint? Is the painter? Oh, wait, I have the painter. What am I talking? Okay, I have the painter, so that means I'll just need to get a peach, and I can make the lead enchantment. It's actually pretty good, actually. But how am I gonna get that? That's a good question. The answer is I don't fucking know. Oh, that's a hard mode enemy. Please don't pathfind your way over here. That would be very appreciated. If you just don't find your way over here. Lead, oh, the lead. I want gems, that's what I want right now. You can't get up here. I cannot get up here, so I'm gonna have to mine some blocks. I want some gems so I can get a grappling hook. Nurse is here. Oh, nice chest. Nice. Well, don't mind if I do. Attack speed. Didn't even say melee. Okay, it's not melee speed, it's attack speed. Oh. Oh, it's hard enemy boots. Just loom. I will take the loom though. And I also want all that cobweb. So take that lead. Anything else? No. There's an demon eye over there. That's fun. Well, oh, there's a demon altar right there. That's good to know. It's really good to know. Amethyst? Amethyst! Found gemstones of some sort, yay. It's still not enough to get, like, it might be enough to get staff, actually. But, like, that's, like, not really gonna do much at all. Free sword, nice, I guess. Oh, gem tree. Is that a ruby gem tree? No, it's an amber gem tree. 2 amber obtained. Torches. Okay, yeah, that was close to fall damage. Yeah, that would not have been good. No, technically you don't want to take fall damage. Okay, for the lead armor thing. What do I need to get the lead enchantment again? I can't. I have the lead short sword. I need 100 gray paint and a peach. Where's Mr. Painter at? Where's the painter? It says I have a painter, but I don't have a painter. Where's Monsieur Painter? Or is Painter just able to move in? Oh, Painter is able to move. I'm stupid. It's saying that the Painter is able to move in, not that he is moved in. Well, in that case, we'll deposit some things and make some insta houses. And try to get the Painter to move in there. Then 5 more insta houses. Oh. Don't ingress line, please. How am I gonna get peaches? Crap. That's gonna be a bit of some issue. Does it have to be a peach? Guide, does it have to be a peach? I really hope it doesn't have to be a peach. That would be very annoying. Will a spicy pepper work? It will work on Ashwood enchantment. Effective. Ooh. Okay, well I can actually do this immediately. I can get the Ashwood enchantment, so that's good actually. I'll have to, you know, chop some more trees, but I can get the Ashwood enchantment right away. You don't see me, Slime. I know you don't. Ooh. I told you don't see me. Painter has arrived, yay! I still don't know how I'm gonna get that pomegranate. Okay, I think I dip here. Okay. How am I gonna get that pomegranate? I don't know. Ashwood. Breastplate, Ashwood. Helmet. Ashwood. Greaves. What else? I need some The fire blossom, I think that's what it's called. Fire blossom. It's also what I needed. Oh, it's just a shimmer, not storage. Fire blossom. I think that's all I need for the fire, the Ashwood enchantment. I think that's all I need. Let's see, is that correct? Gel. I can get gel easily. Do I have 50 gel in here? I do not. I need to kill some slimes. That's great. Or can I just buy them? I can some sold by the alchemist. Dang it. You know, I might do some mining on this level, because that way I can see, like, I can better see what's in the area. This, like, sort of mining level. Flying green slime, that's cool. Eh. Get juked out. I just juked myself in a way. That felt like an obvious trap that I should have just walked into somehow. But I guess it wasn't a trap. Why is that glowing? Weird. Now that I think about it, I'm technically immune to lava, but I'm not gonna abuse the obsidian skin potions that I gave myself. Because, you know, in Masochist mode, if you turn on, if you go to hell, you burn, and that is the same in the Don't Take Up seed, so, no. Sorry, I'm not doing that. We're gonna jump for that. Yeah. Now I have to dig all the way around this to get this little tiny bit of gems. I think that's gems? Are those even gems? Oh, well, screw it. Screw it. I haven't seen skin potions, I'm not gonna ignore them now. It's just silver, okay. Well, I'll take silver. Mushroom zombies, that's... Okay, that's great. No. Nope, you're not getting me today, buddy. No, not today. It's not happening. Nope. Not the happening. Why no one in chat joining? Why is no one in chat? I mean, it's not even a chat to join. Parkour. Parkour! There are some slimes to kill if I want to, but I don't know if I want to. I mean, they sure want it, but I don't know if I want it. Have I gotten that? Okay, I have gotten that. Of course I've gotten that. Why wouldn't I have gotten that? That's a stupid freaking question. So doing also I don't have enough gel to use yet. I want to get an actual magic weapon. Hello, is you back?
Hello?
Bro is back. I'll invite you.
Dude, I had to go to the grocery store. And then
Yeah, I
I'm about to
figured.
have to
I'm
about to have to move furniture, which is so fun.
That's fun. So I've been carrying and getting us like tons of stuff.
What do you got?
I'm currently getting stun locked by a red slime. Okay, I'm back finally. Just getting stun locked by a freaking red slime. Another life crystal. I've gotten myself to 245 health, and I'm about to get you to like 120.
Oh
As
my
in like,
gosh.
what?
You got that much already?
Yeah.
Okay,
I told you. I literally said to chat. I'm gonna have to carry for 45 minutes.
Yeah,
And
no,
look what I did. I carried.
I didn't expect you to lock in.
Bro, when do I not lock? I mean, actually, I was about to say when do I not lock in? It's because I actually. That's actually a trick question. I never lock in. That's a thing. So I'm just gonna go. Basically, I don't walk in. I'm the casualest casual there is.
Did you send me another one?
Oh yeah.
Cool, considering
Also
I
got
have
some
a
accessories for you and stuff. What?
Oh, what was the code? Like 2690 or like 26?
2609. I could say that because no one else is gonna join because they can't. Amethyst. Can I make an amethyst staff, please? Oh my god. Wait, or do I just not have enough cover bars? No, I actually have enough cover bars.
Hey.
Hello. Stuff is in here, so you can just take some stuff out.
Okay.
How many amethysts do you need to make a staff?
It's in where?
Just in green is the stuff that we have. Blue is this crafting area.
Crafting area to work? I can never get to work on because I don't know how to make it so that you can craft anything, like craft armor.
There should be like.
With the blue thing. I mean, like I can here, but like in my own worlds, I never figured out how to do that.
Huh. Are they just not connected? You have to connect stuff, you know.
You know that might be it.
Wow. I'm missing one singular amethyst. Are you kidding me? One singular amethyst.
Okay, so like, what's
You
the
know-
first summon weapon for me? Don't I spawn with like this, like the bird thing?
No, not usually. Crap, that's a good question. What is the first summoning weapon? I'm just gonna take a look in item browser. I'm not going to get anything.
Am I allowed to use like melee weapons like right now? Just for
Yes, you're allowed to use it until you get some magic weapon.
Okay, good.
So, you could also just die over and over and get, you know, the Abigail's flower. Oh wait, I disabled gravestones. Can I enable gravestones again? Eh. Just Fargo's mutant mod that. Disable tombstone off. Server rejected changes. Accepted. Wait, huh? Can you like craft tombstones? What? Sorry, my mom barged in without asking.